Hey, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain. Today we're going to be talking about octaves. Octaves on your guitar, once you get your root note for the key you're playing out of, how they work in a scale, as well as incorporating them into songwriting and stuff like that. It's pretty fun to know all this stuff, so we're just going to cover the basics on it, so let's just get right into it. Hey, and welcome to our little tutorial on octaves. Now I'm going to fumble through this for the beginners and intermediate if you really don't know much about octaves. I'm just going to kind of play around with it and kind of show you how it works on a guitar neck. Let's just start with a simple thing like the A chord. Here's an A barred chord, right? You can also do it here. I like putting my pinky up here to give that higher range when doing an A. But in your basic chord, your basic bar chord, which is the first three notes, which is your 6th string, 5th fret, A, your 7th fret of your 5th string, which is an E, and then your 7th fret of your 4th string, which is another A. So there's an octave right there. So just in a bar chord, you have 2 of your root note, and then you have, in this one, is an E. If you bar the whole thing, like that or like this, doesn't matter because this 5th fret on your 1st string is also an A. So you have 3 root notes in that chord. It goes up and down the scale. G, 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 A, B, 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 and all the way up. E, E, on this in particular neck, D, as I'm going up, will be the last one that I'll have 4 octaves in. So basically, when it comes to the D sharp on this guitar, I'm only going to get the 4th octave in the D. When I go to the D sharp, E flat, then I'm out of luck. I've only got 3 octaves. See that? It'd be up there, but there's no fret for it. So if you're on slide guitar, you can go way up, you can go extra octaves up there, but that's the way that works basically. So let's talk about the E, since that's our 6th string open. E, 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 right? There's your 4 octaves. That's what I was doing in that opening thing. I was just messing around, I came up with that. There's your 4 octaves, your open, your 7th fret on your 5th string, your 9th fret on your 3rd string, and your 12th fret on your 1st string, but it's also your 12th fret on your 6th string, because these are both E's, right? So that's how octaves work on the scale. So what's good is when you're playing scales, your minor pentatonic out of A, that's your basic minor. A, that's your scale. What I do for playing leads, I like using what would be considered the first position of a minor pentatonic scale when you're playing out of A, let's say, and then the 4th position, which would be your 2nd A note on the next string. So here's your A. So I know that this is going to be where my 4th scale is going to be based right out of that A, because I know there's my 2nd octave A. So 1st pentatonic scale, 4th pentatonic scale out of minor pentatonic. And then if you want to go up to, here's your 4th again, right? Or here's your 1st again, right there. The one in between the 4th, right here. The one in between is going to be your 5th. And for me, it's easy to find because I'm using those root notes. So let's say the song's out of a weird key like an A sharp. Well, you're not used to playing those positions out of an A sharp, right? Like your pentatonic scale, you might get a little lost because you're used to it being on where the dots or the markings are. Now you're in between, and then you can just go to that second octave. There's your A sharp, and you got your... You can find it easy by using the octave. So that's a good thing octaves are used for. See that? To find octaves easily, once you got your root note, A, we'll go back to A. It's always, unless you're up on into your second octave, which is to the third octave, you're going to have a different step in there because the B string is not strung naturally. Most of your strings, for those that don't know, are always the 5th fret is going to be your next note. Same thing. A, D, D, G, G. Then all of a sudden when you get to B, it switches down one. You have to reach farther to get your chord. And then when you get up to the next string, it's back to normal. So that B throws you off. The next, and the reason, I don't know the real reason they do it, but it's to get these two back together again. Or it puts these two back together again. So the B is kind of like the odd man out when it comes to these 4 strings going into these 2 strings. So see how I go down 2 strings and up 2 frets to find that octave. B, down 2 strings, up 2 frets. And that gives you that octave right there. And remember, it's out of your bar chord scale. 6, 5, 4 on the strings, 5th fret, 7th fret, 7th fret. Whenever you do a bar chord, you're always doing 2 of your root notes. That gives you the octave. So if I use the 6th and the 4th strings, once again, G, go down 2 strings, up 2 frets. There's your second octave G. Now, when you get into the 3rd octave G, based out of a root note off your 6th string, you're going to have to skip, instead of going down 2 notes and then up 2 steps, you got to go up 3 steps. Down 2 strings, up 3. See? 1, 2, 3. That's because that B shifted down half a step from following the scale. See how I had to go down half a step to get that B instead of here? So let's talk about that real quick. Here's your A. Well, the 5th string is an open A. So you can get your second note here or here. Because remember, A. Well, if this is A, then that's your second octave. You can play them together right there. Or you can add it here. And people use that during leads a lot. There's your A chord. There's your A octave. Same with E. It's a bar chord. So it's E, B, E for that E bar chord. Or you can just say down 2 strings, up 2 notes, or 2 frets. And then if this is it, it's also there. So I know this is a little confusing, but that's why it's good to learn this stuff for you beginners. Same note, exact same note. 7th fret of your 5th string, is the same note as the second fret of your fourth string. And it's the same note, but one octave above your open 6. Now, because there's your bar chord, E, B, E, down 2, down 2, up 2. There's your octave of E. But now, since the open E is there, so now you got 3 octaves. And if you could reach, you could put all 4 octaves together on E. That's kind of the only one you can do that on. Because when you get into A, I can't reach up to there, you know what I mean? So E's kind of the only one you can achieve all 4 octaves if you want. 1, second octave, third octave, and then up here on the 12th fret, 4th octave. This is an E, 3rd octave E. That's a 3rd octave E, right? That's a 3rd octave E. That's a 3rd octave E. And then where would it be? There's a 3rd octave E. So that's all the same note. Once again, that's all the exact same octave of E. Open on the 1st, 5th fret on the 2nd string, 9th fret on your 3rd string. What is it? 12th, 13th, 14th fret on your 4th string, and what is that? 15, 16, 15, 17, 19th fret on your 2nd string. See? Oop. All the same note. That's your octave going this way, and that works for every G, G, right? G, there, G, G there. And then that's the final fret right there, G on the 5th string. That's something to work on. Like, go ahead and find any note on the top string. Just go ahead and find the A. Now, you're not going to be able to get that A on the 5th string now because that G is the final one. See? So A, and then go here, A, then go here, A, then go here, A, right? Kind of play around with that on your own. Just, if you can't find it right away, you go A, where is it, where is it? There it is. Maybe even jump back and forth between it. That helps your hand movement, hand-eye coordination. Then find the next one. And then do this. A in the chord, right? So that's the basics of your octaves. So hopefully this is all making sense to you guys. What I was doing with that opening once again was octave, 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 octave. E, 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 E. So it's... So the last thing I want to show you guys is how they incorporate octave playing into songs. So you got, right? I think there's Richie Blackmore does that quite a bit once in a while. You'll hear Eddie Van Halen do it once in a while in some of his songs. But basically you just take the 2 notes. Let's say I'm out of D. I'll go down 2 strings, up 2 frets. There's your 2nd octave. Or you can just think of it as a box, right? It's, there it is. If you're playing out of D, See how octaves work in there? 1 and 2. I'm muting everything but the 2 strings between the 5th string and the 3rd string. I'm using my index finger right here to mute the 4th string. I'm just laying it on there. I'm not playing the 6th and I'm not playing the 1 and 2. In fact, this finger is muting 1 and 2 slightly. That way you get a clean sound. I'm not the greatest at it, but that's how people incorporate octaves into lead playing too. And then the final thing I should say would be, for tuning, you use it as well. For open tuning, A, right? 5th fret, open string below it. 5th fret, open string below it. D, G, 5th string, open string below it. Then to go to the B, you move it over 1, like we were talking about. 4th fret, open string below it, and then back over to the 5th fret for the final one. For the open E, the number 1, 5th fret, open string below it. There's another you're not doing octaves now, but you're using the same notes. Hey, so that's it. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. To check out another video, click this link over here. To check out our channel, see all our videos, go ahead and click this link down here. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.